Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that a like and subscribe. So today is the last video of the year. What a wonderful year. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing and liking the videos and making this channel what it is today. Growing quite nicely with a very, very good and strong community here. Always very respectful. Even the people that come here and they say things that they don't agree with me, or they give their own theories, which many times are opposite of mine. There's never cheap shots, insults for no reason. I mean, I had the occasional person calling me a scammer, and then I asked them, okay, what am I selling? Because if I'm trying to scam someone, I'm selling something, right? So I'm trying to convince you to give me your money. If I do everything that I can to go the opposite side of that, how can I be a scammer? And usually that's where the insult stops. I would like to thank all of you, for also bringing up very interesting subjects throughout the live streams. I think it's a very, very good year for me personally. Got married. I had my first couple 100x's in crypto. I've reached my first limit, so I had 3 targets for the bull run. Number 1 was going to be a free house at the age of 32. I got there. Number 2 was going to be financial retirement, and number 3, if everything would go perfectly, generational wealth. I would be very happy with financial independence, so I could retire. That hopefully will come in 2025. I wanted to clarify a few things about my last video about the predictions. So to be clear, I made 12 predictions, yeah? To me, the first 4 are by far the most important, the key, the crucial ones. Because if I get those ones wrong, then the rest, even if I get all the rest correct, doesn't really matter that much. Same thing the other way around. If I get the first 4 wrong, and I get, the other way around. If I get the first 4 right, and I get the other 8 wrong, I'm happy as well, because by far the first 4 will allow me to retire. So then I guess I can cry about my other 8 predictions, holding $100 bills as tissues, I suppose. So that's what I want to clarify, because I think there was a bit of confusion around it. And I also mentioned about the Bitcoin top in October of 2025. Now, in case I wasn't specific or I wasn't clear, yes, a lot of people are saying October 2025. I've been saying it, since I've started the channel back in 2023, when people were asking if we were even going to get a bull market, right? And I said, oh no, we're going to get a bull market. And I think the top this time around most likely will be October 2025. But you see, there are a lot of crypto people who've been here for more than a cycle that are seeing the same date. And then I think that's causing some people in the comment section to think, oh, but if all these guys are saying October 2025, then that means that it happens a little bit earlier because they start selling, etc., etc. See, you need to understand something. What I meant by that is the following. Something's gonna happen in 2025. I don't know what's gonna be. It's anybody's guess, okay? Maybe the entire BRICS nation rushes to get Bitcoin as a standard. Maybe the US and allies in the West all decide to accumulate Bitcoin like there's no tomorrow. I mean, whatever. Something so bullish, so bullish, that nobody can foresee. How can this go down from here? How can we have a bear market when this information is so bullish? So there's something that basically you're going to sit down in your chair and you're going to think about the update, about the news, about the event that is happening, call it a white swan, call it a wet dream, call it whatever you want to call it. By the way, if you hear some noise in the background, I think some neighbors are getting excited about New Year's Eve, so they're throwing some fireworks. Maybe they are testing for the big day. Who knows? What I'm trying to say is the reason why I think October is going to be the top is because something's going to happen that is going to convince people that the four-year cycle is now finally finished and broken, and it doesn't matter anymore because Wall Street and the government and everybody's here. So the four-year cycle is now disappeared forever. And they're going to say that based on A, B, C, D, and D, and F, which I agree, it's going to be extremely bullish. There's no way we're going to have a bear market. Now, one thing that I've learned about markets is that if you have a market, you can have a bear market and you can have a bull market. Now, you can go much higher in a bull than a bear goes down, which is typically what happens with crypto, but you can still have bear markets. Now, but next time, and I've said this a long time ago, next time, I don't think Bitcoin's going to drop 85 or even 77%. I think Bitcoin's going to drop 50 to 65% max. Probably somewhere around 55 to 60. And we may weak momentarily into 65% in the next bear market. I think that's actually quite likely to happen. And I think Ethereum is going to drop somewhere between 75 to 80% in the next bear market. I've said this a long time ago. But first, we need to get to a situation where nobody can foresee a bear market coming, and they will provide you with hours upon hours upon hours of podcasts going through all the angles, explaining why a bear market is, quote, impossible. This is what you're going to see, but you need to wait and see for it, okay? At the moment, I think Coinbase download app in the ranking is like number 155. Bitcoin just dropped today to 91K, and everybody lost their mind. Is now back to close to 95K again at the time of this recording. As I've said before, I've said this maybe 3 weeks ago. I said when Bitcoin was below 90K, I said there's going to be a time where now you see how bullish you feel right now. This was, I don't know, a month ago, because we are going to cross the 90K mark, right? Remember this feeling, because there's going to come a time where Bitcoin's going to touch 90K and you're going to be feeling bearish. In fact, the Fear and Greed Index is now at 50, which is right in the middle of neutral. And I wouldn't be surprised if we even take a little bit lower than that, which is great. We cannot have a explosive move upwards if the extreme greed is already happening. That means that people already sold their house and their bikes and their cars. They put all into crypto, most likely with leverage, and they need to be punished. They need to be cleansed out of the system. And that's pretty much it. Now, I've seen people talking about shorting crypto in Q1 2025. Now, can it work? Sure. I mean, anything can work. But what you need to understand is Q1 in the year after the halving is typically extremely strong. So you're once again betting on something very perilous and that has never happened in history. But if you want to do it, it's up to you. Sherman, I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm not here to entice you to buy the coins that I have. I am here to simply broadcast my journey and share some of my insights when I'm looking into the markets. Okay? That's it. If you want financial gurus to tell you what to do, you have so many of them on YouTube, go have fun. I'm sure they will be very happy to help you. Of course, charging you $5,000 or whatever. Now, TLT seems to be rebounding a little bit. Stocks, everything's still under pressure. So funny. The sentiment is quite negative, despite the fact that we had a wonderful year in stocks as well. But this is it. It's always about what have you done for me lately. So you can have 11 and a half wonderful months. If you have a couple of weeks that people don't like, that shifts the entire feeling of for the year. That's also good. You don't want people to think this is a sure thing. I can never lose money on the stock market, blah, blah, blah. You need people to be shaken out as well over there. And I think that 2025 is going to be a very good year. Very interesting year for crypto. And I mean, the narratives change. The news change. The protagonists change. and the liquidity cycle repeats. That's it. So, you can always go back in time and pinpoint these moves and these changes with specific news points at the time. And you will find out that all of a sudden there are very bullish things that happen during the bear market and the price goes down. And people ignore those because they don't fit into the narrative of we are in the bear market, price is going down. What they fail to realize is that those bullish news raise the foundation for the price action in the years to follow. You see, fundamentals precede price. Nobody tells you this, nobody talks about this because they don't understand. They think that, it was disapproval that caused the green candle, blah, blah, blah. So, no. Many times, things are happening in the background, such as, for example, let me give you this example of Hopi. As you guys know, Hopi is one of my very successful lottery tickets. It's now sold down to something like 30 million, which is about an 80% correction from the recent all-time high. There was also a bit of a vampire attack by a different coin. I don't follow these things very carefully. And now it's around 40 million market cap and seems to be rebounding. Now, here is the fundamentals. The big whales in Hopi have been accumulating all this time. Now, that's not a behavior of someone who's about to dump and forget about the project. They've been buying religiously, increasing clips as the coins come down. The biggest whale of them all sold everything, which means it's great because when the price goes up, that person cannot harm the price anymore because that person is no longer in. And a lot of whales have been slowly accumulating, certain partnerships being made. You need to be a little bit paying attention to certain things going on. But the point is, these things are happening right now. And one day, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it will lead into an increase in price. But then it will become very obvious to everyone, of course it's going up because of these and the others. Yeah. But this happened like a month ago. You had the time to look into it. You waited for the green candles to come so you can feel confident to do it. See what I mean? It's always the same thing. Then it's easy. Then everybody believes. Then you get the drill, right? So, I think liquidity will pump aggressively next year. Most likely, the Fed will surprise on that front everyone. People still believe the Fed, which to me is funny. Taking into account their track record is absolutely abysmal. But people still believe them. That's what matters. If people believe them, the market behaves accordingly. Doesn't matter my opinion. What matters is what the market decides. In my view, there's no way they're going to cut twice. Unless the cuts are like 100 basis points each, then maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to cut at least 4, maybe 5 times. And the reason is quite simple. The number one budget item, I think, is Medicare. Number 2 is Social Security. Okay? So the budget is obviously out of control, right? Are you going to cut Medicare or Social Security? No, in fact, Trump talked about removing taxes from Social Security, increasing payments in Social Security. So if anything, that thing over there is going to increase. Okay. So Social Security, Medicare are out of the question. Why? Because it would be a wonderful way to guarantee that the Democrats win the next election. If somebody cuts any of those two, that's that. Now, military is about 900 billion. Maybe they can cut around 300 billion from it. We'll see. And the number 3 item, bigger than the military, is interest rates. Interest rate expense, meaning the expense that the US government pays on its current debt, which, never forget, is continuously increasing. And the more time goes by, the more debt gets refinanced at the higher rates. So this debt that's coming from old periods of zero interest rates are now being refinanced at the existing interest rates. So the interest expense is around $1.1 trillion right now. In January 2026, which is 12 months after Trump's inauguration, That expense will be at current rates somewhere like 1.8, 1.9 trillion. That's around 40% of the entire tax revenue of the US. So, which one do you think the Department of Government Efficiency and Trump and the like are going to focus? Are they going to focus on Social Security and Medicare? Forget about those. Are they going to focus on military? Maybe a little bit, but they won't cut. I don't think they will cut really the big portions of it. What can they control? Interest rate expense. Can exert pressure to the Fed to act. Interest rate expense. If they push the long interest rates down as well, then mortgage rates come down, then the real estate market starts to go up. Everybody's happy in the country. See, it's much easier. I've said this before. Powell is the strongest person is the most important person on the planet. It's not governments, it's not armies, it's none of them. Why? Because Powell can destroy $100 trillion in wealth tomorrow. He can summon a press conference and say, we are thinking about raising Fed funds rate to 10%. He doesn't even need to do it. Just him saying, we are thinking about doing it, it's enough to wipe out in an hour $100 trillion worldwide of wealth. That's how powerful he is. Without dropping a bomb, without threatening everybody, just thinking that he's considering to do it. Think about how powerful that is. In any case, I think we are on target. I think we're on plan. I think 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. I think a lot of people will struggle. I think moves to the upside and downside will be very aggressive. I hope to be here and to be strong-minded to get myself into financial retirement, to be very, very great. With that, I would like to wish you all Happy New Year. I wish that you look back into 2024 and you enjoyed your time. And if you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it's the only thing that I ask. See you in 2025, and I'll catch you in the next one.